East Africa was thrown into a whirlwind following the announcement by Ugandan health authorities of an Ebola outbreak that also claimed the lives of several people in the countries west of the capital, Kampala. New Uganda-Sudan Ebola virus outbreak means FDA-licensed vaccine for Zaire Ebola virus cannot be used. That means that virologists and scientists have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a more stronger and efficient shield to this virus that has been classified as lethally fatal. Here now is a report.
September the 20th, Mubende district goes into panic mode. It's this breaking news from Uganda's health ministry that set in motion the dramatic events in East Africa.
When he reported to the hospital, he had the symptoms suspected to be of COVID. The patient was Ebola. He was isolated. The sample was taken on 18th of September. The results came back yesterday evening to confirm the Ebola, the Sudan strain.
Uganda, which shares a porous border with the Democratic Republic of Congo, has experienced several Ebola outbreaks in the past, most recently in 2019, when at least 5 people died. Realizing the severity and the worry that comes with the mention of Ebola, the Ministry and World Health Organization simultaneously issued these statements.
WHO's experts are on the ground working with Uganda's experienced Ebola control teams to reinforce diagnosis, treatment, and preventive measures.
The Democratic Republic of Congo in August recorded a new case in its violence-racked east, less than 6 weeks after an epidemic in the country's northwest was declared over. Just in September 2021, Congo was among the last countries in Africa to declare victory over the battle to eradicate the virus.
Today it gives us great joy to tell you that the Ebola virus disease has been defeated.
In August 2021, a young Ghanaian woman who tested positive for Ebola virus in Ivory Coast after arriving there 2 weeks ago, recovered from the disease. Her diagnosis was the first confirmed case of Ebola in the Ivory Coast since 1994. The World Health Organization collaborated with the government in Ivory Coast, started a vaccination campaign to target those who were in immediate contact with the patient, and security forces along the border with Guinea, and in a few weeks, the country was clear of the virus.
We think that today we are safe from new cases, but we have to monitor this.
Ebola is an often fatal viral hemorrhagic fever, first identified in 1976 in the DRC, then Zaire. The virus, whose natural host is the bat, has since set off a series of epidemics in Africa, killing around 15,000 people. Human transmission is through body fluids, with the main symptoms being fever, vomiting, bleeding, and diarrhea. The worst epidemic in West Africa between 2013 and 2016 killed more than 11,300 people alone. DRC has had more than a dozen epidemics, the deadliest killing 2,280 people in 2020. The World Health Organization even celebrated the official end to the Ebola epidemic, which plagued the country for 2 years. The WHO says the Ebola Sudan strain is less transmissible and has shown a lower fatality rate in previous outbreaks than Ebola Zaire. Uganda is confident that much of the infrastructure used for COVID will be repurposed for Ebola.
We have significant capacity built across within the country for detection and also to be able to galvanize community support and response. So we think that using what we've done before, we should be able to appropriately respond to this current outbreak.
Countries in the region, including Rwanda, Somalia, South Sudan and Kenya, have all stepped up screenings and checks at their borders. At present, there is no licensed medication to prevent or treat Ebola, although a range of experimental drugs are in development and thousands have been vaccinated in the DRC and some neighbouring countries. Bureau Report, World of Africa.